I love it. I made it look more like a taser by gluing these nails to it. Let's look at it spark now. This gap is quite wide. Let me measure it for you. Well, you know, metal is generally conductive and electrons always find the easiest path to travel. Okay, let me show you how well it works. First, without the anti-pair. If I can just pass these cables under the table here. Always finish your wiring before connecting to your power supply. Now instead I'm going to use my power limited supply up here that will drive this pump that's made of this DC brushed motor here, and it's going to run fluid into the cylinder back here that will move it around. Now I enable the power supply. Always double check your connections. Using the knife is dangerous and will not work. I've seen some women back in Iran that burn their arm hair off on a stove, and I'm gonna try that. I have my lighter fuel here and my fire extinguisher in case anything goes wrong. Just put a dab of this on my mustache and I'm ready to go. This is a air horn. Make yourself familiar with your tools. The fuse box should be somewhere in there. The hood has a stand that has to be securely placed into the hood hole. Get together and I'm gonna shoot the box. I put the bullet in and there's a switch here that acts like a trigger. So here we go. Well, it's always wise to aim away from yourself. So let's try again. Put the bullet in. Wow! Let's try it a couple more times. $100 ohm resistor and connect it to the output to see how the waveform changes. A quick calculation shows having 170 volts across 100 ohm generates 300 watts of power. It's like having a 300 watt lamp between your fingers. It burns your skin very quickly. Now I use pliers to hold the resistor. See, the output voltage drops, but with very small ripples because there is a lot of filtering. Wow, I was holding that. I let it cool down for a while and the ceramic core takes a long time to cool down, and now the hell? The hell? Why bad things happen to good people? Come on. Ooh. Ah. Sheer luck! Thanks to my flimsy wire connections to the transformer that fell off quickly, I only sustained some third-degree burns. My stupid long sparklers made my structure top-heavy, which of all people fell right on top of me. I leave a bunch of safety tips on my website, but such experiments are not worth dying for, so don't do it. Kind of works. It's a little bit weak though. Nothing that a strong drill battery can take care of. This baby is 12 volts compared to the two AA's that are 3 volts total. It's gonna give it the oomph that it needs. Okay, let's power it up. I better do stupid shit that you will regret for the rest of your life. Hold the probe on one side and only touch one of the AC lines. Well, that was a pretty bad idea. I couldn't keep steady enough to read the stupid meter. And I could have died. See the... First, you plug it to the inverter. Anytime you connect a power harness, connect it to your load side first, so you wouldn't short your power supply or shock yourself. Here that I can feel, so it's impossible for this to excite a fluorescent bulb. What the f? Now this string is one that I couldn't fix with the lighter sparker and doesn't turn on either. Let's try the taser now. You should know better not to get too close to high voltage. Now, you heard me. Increase the voltage a little bit. Okay, let's do 100 volt. Ready? Should be less painful. Ow. Okay. Ouch. What is it? What the? Ow. Ow. What the is the current rising? Ow. Ow. It seems like at higher voltage and current, the skin doesn't limit the current anymore. It is failing one way or another, and its resistance is dropping, increasing the current. It'll be a hell of a pain. Okay, come on. Sorry guys, the pain is too much for me, but I'm sure it will. It opened! It opened! Install GFCI in bathrooms, people. Okay, finally, let's power it up. It's done. Let's turn it on and see how it looks like. The LED lights can be very intense and directional, so don't look into them directly as it may hurt your eyes. I like to put it on my tongue, but before that I have to reduce the voltage to something like 1 volt, because you know the resistance of the tongue is much smaller than the skin. And still, if I short the power supply, I get the same 150 amps. Okay, you can see it still sparks. Let's try it out. What the f? I thought I set it to 1 volt. Huge. Don't completely trust the gauges on your instruments, and always double check them with a meter.